The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the HBCU Hour. It's your boy Pooh Bear. Got my man Aunt Petty Murphy in the building. What's good, my boy? How you doing on this fine Memorial Day?
I'm all right, dog. Can't complain. Got to go to work tomorrow, so.
Yeah, I'm complaining about that part. But I do want to say shout out to those who came before us, who made the ultimate sacrifice so we can have the little freedoms we do have. Want to thank all those my battle buddies who paved the way for me. So appreciate it, man.
Definitely. Rest in peace, BJ Haynes.
Yeah. Shout out, man. It's funny. I think about them kind of, saying often, especially when it comes to military times. But Howard Johnson, man, Private Howard Johnson, he was the first soldier from Alabama to lose his life in Iraq. He also was a year ahead of me in high school, man. I remember, saying when after he finished boot camp and stuff, man, coming back to the school, talking with us and stuff, man. So appreciate you, Howard, man. You are missed. So, but man, let's get started, man. I know, saying today is not it's a holiday. I want to say shout out to the history of Memorial Day, to those who honored the Union soldiers who sacrificed to free those that were enslaved, went by and dug up those Union soldiers who were all buried in a mass grave, gave them the parade they deserved, and honored them and buried them in individual graves. Excuse me. So, but man, let me tell you, I told you for the show, I smell like straight smoke right now. Straight barbecue smoke. Been out there grilling, man. I got some patties though, some hamburger patties, and got some little cubes of cheese and put up in there and roll that, them patties up. As soon as you bit down, yes sir. Threw me some wings on there, grill. They came out looking real good. Dylan was out there helping in the way. But you know how they go. You know how they go when you're trying to get something done.
Yeah, you got to have the little helpers out there, man.
Yeah. He was like, Daddy, can I put it on the grill? Go ahead, put it on the grill. He said, Daddy, can I light the match? Go ahead, light the match. And then the match broke. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I said, nah, let me show you what to do. And I did it. He said, all right, let me light the next one. He lit it. And it blew out. He said, I'm going to go practice. I said, wait, no. No, you don't practice nothing. He's like, I don't mean like that, Dad. I'm just saying, like, nah. No. That reminds me. Alexa, renew home insurance policy.
Dude, crazy.
Well, man, we got a lot to get into. I say a lot. We got some things to get into, man. Championship, postseason, some big moves. But first, I want to shout out to our sponsors over at Bet Online. BetOnline.ag. We'll be back in 1 minute. BetOnline.ag is your #1 source for all your sports information, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds, lines, and player injury reports for this year's NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline is always your sports information headquarters. This season, we have you covered for all your sports wagering needs. We have everything from NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL to golf, tennis, UFC, and boxing. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games that you can play right from your home. Head on over to betonline.ag today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Be sure to use the promo code BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, welcome back. Hey, man, let's go ahead and jump into it. First up on the docket, man, one of our good friends, man. This man is an expert when it comes to all things eating. Gary Quarles makes his way to Baton Rouge. He will be joining the Southern Jags. I think it's very beneficial on both sides.
Yeah, I think that's a great pickup for the Jags.
Yeah. I'm looking at his stats, man. Dude, just he the highlights and stuff. He had so much to offer, man.
Well, I will say this: it'll only matter if Dooley play the right quarterback.
Very true. Very true. I'm not gonna be petty tonight, but yeah. You got to get on this good side. You got to find a matching lapel pin, but like, Coach, I seen this. I think it'll go with your ascot.
Buy an ascot for Father's Day.
Hey, Coach. I know you don't really wear socks for real, but I think this Aveeno lotion make them ankles shine real good. Hey, but for real, man, we was talking. I'm gonna say so. We were talking last night, and Carter was talking about he was going over LSU schedule. He talked about Grambling. He was like, "Hey, how do you think Grambling will look?" And my response was, Grambling is probably one of the most complete teams in the SWAC coming out of spring. And I said I expect them to be a lot better, especially on offense this year than they were last year. They're going to be dangerous. Very dangerous. So,
yeah, I think last year their defense was solid. They lost some pieces, but I still think they got some dogs over there, especially in the trenches.
Second in the system too. So
yeah, for sure. I think it's gonna really come down to what you get from Crawley or whoever's on the center, and what Tony Hull can do to kind of make that offense a little more explosive. Like we saw in the spring game, we saw big plays. I mean, every quarterback had multiple, big plays, 70-yard touchdown passes, 40-yard passes and things of that nature, even big runs. So if they can find a way to translate that into the season next year, then I would agree with you. But I mean, I can't.
Now I'm not picking.
It's a spring game. You know what I mean?
I'm not picking them to win the SWAC or anything.
Oh yeah,
but I do think that they make a huge step forward next year.
Would you pick them to win the West? I ain't saying are you? I just said would you? Like, is it even? Would that be a consideration?
I think it's possible. I think it's coming down to. I think it's between Grambling, Alcorn, and probably Prairie View.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd probably put Grambling third behind on that list, though.
Yeah. I do think that a healthy Andrew Body, that's going to shake things up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's good, Brian? Brian was actually in there last night with Carter. I don't know if he asked the question, but I know it was with Carter when that conversation came up. He was talking about it. But he said, "What's up?" And he says, "I think that this year we will finally see the SWAC beat the MEAC in the HBCU national title, especially Southern and Alcorn."
Yeah, don't let MEAC Mike come in here. See that comment.
Yeah. I don't know. I will say it's possible that we win the SWAC. I say we. It's possible that the SWAC wins the SWAC MEAC challenge, but I
mean,
my
it all
favorite
depends on who makes it. From each
my
side,
I think it's going. My favorite is going to be North Carolina Central, coming out of MEAC, and possibly probably FAMU coming out of SWAC. I don't think that. I'm not gonna say that. We'll see.
It's way too early for
it's
me
way
to
too
be
early.
making any predictions.
Way too early. I gotta at least get the SWAT media day before I start making bold statements. So, but Fort Valley State. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. He came back and said the key to the SWAT finally winning is the line of scrimmage. The MEAC has dominated these meetings because of their line of scrimmage supremacy. I can't disagree with that at all.
Very true.
Very true. Fort Valley State running back Emmanuel Wilson. He signed with Green Bay, a undrafted free agent contract with Green Bay. He will enter the training camp on the 90-man roster. So congratulations to him. Hopefully, he can make the 53-man roster, or at least the practice squad, and continue. I think he's got a pretty decent shot. So, in other football news, Florida Memorial makes former NFL star Terrence Garvin their DC. He was last year. He was on there. I think he was a linebackers coach. But now they've moved him to co-defensive coordinator. So congratulations to him. Florida Memorial is another school who's sneaky. Is improving in like all aspects of sports and stuff, and as a school, it's like they are. When you look at some of the I'm trying to think, when you look at some of those sports that we're trying to get HBCs are trying to get back into or trying to get into, men's soccer, beach volleyball, Florida Memorial is leading the way on that. So
that's a school that nobody ever really mentions when they talk about moving up.
Yeah. So yep. Now, for the second year, the XFL HBCU Showcase is returning. This year it's going to be held in Atlanta. It's going to be held at Clark Atlanta University. So I forgot the date. I think it's the 27th of June or maybe the 17th. Hold on. I don't know how that. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, let me tell you the correct date. June 17th. There it is. June 17th. It is an invite only camp, of course. But it is this one is basically tailored to try to get, more eyes on HBCU players, to get them drafted to the XFL. Another avenue for players to try to find a way into a pro field, career.
Like I know the ultimate dream is the NFL, but with all these other leagues popping up, these spring leagues, it gives them a chance to, keep auditioning for the NFL, but not just that, just gives them a chance to, be a professional, even though they didn't, make the highest level. So
right.
I think it's a good fit for both the league and the players, because the leagues are getting very talented, high quality football, and at the same time, these players are getting their chance to live out their dream and keep their dream alive of making it to the NFL.
Yeah. Very true. I look forward to to just seeing them on the field. Period. The XFL and the USFL have been like some excellent like football. Spring football is so entertaining, and then some of the rule changes just make it. Like I said, I talked about last night. Having that transparency with the some referees and stuff, and kind of seeing it, that stuff that makes the game so much better to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind possibly seeing the two leagues merge down the line, so you can have more, more competition, more teams, more cities, and kind of have a bigger rival to the NFL.
Yeah, I would love to see, not necessarily, well, I guess technically it'll be a merge, but the champion from both leagues.
Oh yeah, you could do like a champion thing. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be dope. Oh, I'm saying somebody came up with the idea, said like the champion of like those, like I forget those leagues, and the
Super Bowl champ.
No, not even Super Bowl champ. The team with the worst record.
Oh.
They play
relegation.
Yeah, and the loser have to swap. They basically, if you win, you go to the NFL. Yeah, so
that'd be funny.
Yeah. I do want to say before we move on, man, congratulations to Alabama A&M head coach Connell Maynor. He is inducted into the E.E. Smith High School Sports Hall of Fame. He was inducted on yesterday, actually, at the Crown Complex in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Congratulations to Coach Maynor. He's had a stellar career as a player and is doing wonderful things as a coach. So
how many Hall of Fames is that now?
Many.
6?
Many. I know I got a question for Coach when we see him. I got a question for him that I want to see the answer, because I already know how he is. So it's gonna be interesting. But man, let's talk about this SWAC baseball tournament. First things first. Congratulations to Florida A&M. Congratulations to Bethune-Cookman. Congratulations for making it a Florida Classic at the SWAC tournament. But overall, all the teams involved in the SWAC as a whole, congratulations. The move to Atlanta seems to be in a very, I don't know about profitable, but it was a very good move. A lot of people got were involved. A lot of people made it to the game. So
you think it was a good move?
Moving to Atlanta? Yes. Now.
Okay.
Now.
Okay, I see what you did there.
Moving to Atlanta was a good idea. I think the question becomes, because you asked the question, I asked where's the game being played at in Atlanta? On Georgia Tech's campus. It's like, interesting. So,
do you think, my question was, did they mess up by having it at a PWI?
I thought about that. I've been thinking about that. And I was thinking, where could they have had it? I was like, oh, they could have had it at Clark Atlanta. Or could they?
Well, see, I'm not too familiar with every available ballpark in Atlanta. However, I do know that there are multiple minor league ballparks within the footprint of the conference. Mm-hmm. While it might not necessarily be a big city like Atlanta, Birmingham and some of these other places have.
If I'm not mistaken, they were just having it in Birmingham not long ago. Last year, if I'm not mistaken.
I got you. But I mean, I was just throwing names.
I get it.
I could saying having in Birmingham. I was just saying, and you wouldn't have to necessarily pay money to a PWI to host your tournament. I do agree with you that having it in Atlanta is more beneficial than in some other places for, ease of travel, getting to there, things to do while you're there, and all that other kind of stuff. But I just think optically it's not the best look, having your conference tournament at a PWI.
I agree there. But again, that was my question. Where else could they have had it? I again love the idea of having it in Atlanta. I think it was a very profitable, and even not in maybe not financially, but because I don't know the numbers, but I think it was very profitable, meaning the attention that it brought, the turnout that it had. Because even people who weren't necessarily FAMU fans or Bethune-Cookman fans, a lot of people came out. There were people from schools who I don't even think made the tournament that were there, so just because it was SWAC baseball in Atlanta. So,
well, not to mention, you got the big black population in Atlanta. You know what I mean? So just like you got former MEAC alums and other conference alums who just live in Atlanta who coming out just to support HBCUs. So,
all right. But yeah, man. FAMU lost against Alabama State, I think, on day 2. Then turned around and went on a run where they and then lost to Alabama State. They actually were up by 5 runs. I know up by 4 runs, if I'm not mistaken. Alabama State scored 5 to come back to take the lead and win. But Florida A&M said they weren't going to let that happen again, and basically beat Alabama State twice to make it to the championship game, where they face rival Bethune, who Bethune took out Grambling twice. Grambling and Alabama State.
Close.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, Grambling and Alabama State were the respective number 1 seeds for each side for the East and the West. And yeah. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I watched Carlos Brown show, and he was talking about the game and stuff. He had on AD Drew and Jamie, saying Albie Score, saying, from the Black College Sports Network. They were actually calling the game. And one thing that they talked about was there was a lot of East teams who made a big push.
One in the Final Four.
Yeah.
Out of the West. But Grambling and Alabama State, like you mentioned, number 1 going into the tournament from their sides of the bracket. But what we always talk about on here, man, it's so hard to win the regular season and then turn around and win in the tournament. And it's just another example of that. I mean, I think you could say those were the 2 favorites, depending on what order you want to put them in going into the tournament, and neither one of them make it to the final round. So I think that just goes to show you how hard it is to win in conference play.
Yeah. For went their efforts, FAMU got the automatic bid for the SWAC. They are headed to Gainesville. They will be taking on Florida in the Gainesville Regional. So,
hey, what is Florida's overall bid?
What are they? Number 3, number 2, number 3? I think. Hold on, I have to look it up. Forget what they are. Let's see. Looking at the bracket now. I hate that they do this like this because it doesn't break it down to like what they actual, like their national seeding was.
Yeah,
that's what you're asking.
Who Florida matched up with?
That's what I'm trying. Let me see if I can find that. Regional brackets.
Florida number 2 seed.
They number 2 overall.
Yeah. All right. So
Okay.
that FAMU was the second to last team.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Okay.
one
Yeah.
the fourth seed in the Wake Forest regional.
You said Wake Forest.
Yeah, Winston-Salem regional. George Mason. So George Mason is the only school that was lower seated than FAMU.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes a Tulane team that didn't even win 20 games this year.
Yeah. Yeah, that does. So
Now we talk about the disrespect the HBCUs get from the NCAA committees. This is just another example.
what was Florida A&M's record on the
29
year?
to 28.
Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Tulane was 19 and 40.
19 and 40. That they were.
Mhm.
Mm-mm-mm. All right,
That's
man.
funny, man. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Mm. Well.
I don't even know what to like. I'm not surprised, but at the same time, it's like I don't really even know. Yeah, pretty much, bro. Like,
NCAA committee going to NCAA committee. Yeah.
yeah, it's like I don't really even know what to say. I mean,
You
I'm
know
not
what?
surprised, but at the same time, I still don't even know how to feel about it.
I actually didn't even think about that. I was like, because I knew I was like, oh, they, you know what I'm saying? At first I thought they was in the Miami regional. And then I was like, oh, they in Gainesville. And then when you're like, well, what was their overall ranking?
You see, I knew Florida was top 3. I just didn't know where.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's saying something, bro.
It is. It is. In other news, man, we talked about this a little bit last night. The MEAC, the new coordinator of men's basketball officials, is under investigation. For those of you who haven't heard, Eric Lewis, 19-year NBA vet, basketball official, got caught up. He's being investigated for allegedly having a burner account on Twitter and responding back to uh, users who have criticized NBA officiating. I talked about it. Me personally, unless he just went completely off the rails, man. It's a burner account. Who cares? But that was my thoughts, man. It was my altar call last night.
The only way I think it's an issue is if it shows some kind of like clear bias,
Right.
you know what I mean, to a specific teams or against specific teams.
All right. I haven't seen it. It was the the name of the account that he used was Blair Cutcliffe. It was like at Cutcliffe Blair. Yeah. So yeah, but it's under investigation. I don't know what this means for if you know saying his position as the new coordinator of men's basketball for the MEAC, but
Yeah.
it's certainly a topic of contention in the NBA right now. So yeah, speaking of the NBA, at halftime, it is Miami 52, Boston 41.
Man, I just whenever I thought I knew what was going on in this series,
I don't know. Like I said, I hope. Me personally, I hope Miami wins it. It don't matter going to the next round, but I hope they win it. But it's interesting. So
Yeah, it would. I want Boston to win just for the competitiveness of the finals, but I really don't like Boston, so it wouldn't hurt me if they lost.
Yeah, that is true. So, but man, let's talk about a little track and field. North Carolina A&T is sending several members of their men's and women's team to the nationals. Currently, you have Raheem Hales and Shamar Chambers, both qualified for the 400-meter dash. They actually are the first CAA runners to qualify for nationals in the 400 since 2013. So there you go.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, because they was wouldn't they was
No, for the CAA.
that's what
but
got used to CAA at. But
yeah. On the women's side, Paula Salmon. I guess depending on what region of the country you're in. She goes for her third straight 100-meter hurdles title. Well, not title. She's going to the finals for the third straight year. So, yeah. Trying to see who else here. Also from A&T, Jada Griffin. She qualifies for the 400-meter dash.
A&T, if they don't do nothing else, they're gonna win in some track, bro.
Yeah. Also, and because I don't want to leave this out, for Howard women, they've got Darcy Kahn. She qualified for the 100 meters. Jessica Wright for the 400-meter hurdles, which, first of all, let me say something. 400 meters by itself is a task. But then you got to hop, jump, and skip over that thing too. I hadn't seen some people break down on them hurdles. But 4x4, Howard's 4x4 relay team also made it. That team consists of Miss Jessica Wright, Katharina Morris, Tiffany Ray Pittman, and Anaya Woodruff. So they actually clinched the final spot with a 3-minute 35.44 second mark. They actually beat out Clemson to get in. They beat Clemson. Clemson had a 3-minute 35.98 mark. So yeah. And right now the team to beat is Florida. Florida is a 3-minute 31.33 seconds. So that's the team to beat. History was made in the NAIA. I'm sorry. It's not NAIA. What is this? Let me make sure. It is NAIA. Okay. I ain't tripping. NAIA championship, track and field championships. Xavier New Orleans, let me rephrase that. Seth Alexander, he won the school's very first track and field national championship. He's a triple jumper, and he was actually the only one to hit 50 feet. He triple jumped a school, I think it's a school record as well. School record 50 feet, 2 3/4 inches.
That's crazy.
Bro, do you know how I watched them kids triple jump? That's hard. And it's funny because
I was never good at it.
The way they have it set up, they have 3 different boards, and I never could understand. I was like, why are they moving it? Like what? But it depends on how far you jump. They have 3 boards you jump from. Saw this kid, man, and that kid jumped, and it looked like I was like, man, you ain't getting nowhere. Like you barely made in the sand. They throw the time. I mean, what's got like 47. I'm like, oh, you did good. Oh, my bad, player. But yeah, man. But congratulations to him. Congratulations to Xavier. Also, last but not least, in track and field, Lincoln, Missouri. Their men came fifth in the NCAA Division II National Championship, and the women came in eighth. So
2 top 10. That's impressive.
yeah, it is. And I know a lot of people might look at it like, that's
Man, that's impressive.
fifth, that's eighth. But no, they did good. That's hard. Especially when you know how many teams out there. So that is hard.
Yeah, kudos to them, man. For real. Both the men and the women.
Yeah. That's all I got. I got a little basketball.
What you got?
Texas Southern all SWAC selection Adriana Event is leaving Texas Southern and going to Jackson State.
Ooh. And I know we didn't talk about it last week, but NC State standout.
Yeah.
NC State standout leaves after freshman year, I believe, and it's headed to Norfolk
State.
And I think he did mention this last time. I mean, we talked about it during the NCAA tournament, how good of a team and how good of a season Norfolk State had. And you add in a talent like this and someone who, had everything in front of her at a PWI quote unquote Power 5 school and decided to, take her career a different direction, and a great get for Norfolk State. They get her for 2-3 years, and the talent level that they're adding to their team is incredible. But at the same time, the exposure that they're getting, the headlines that they're getting, the recognition that program is getting, and it's just gonna make them that much more of a powerhouse in the MEAC. And on top of that, we saw the Don Staley giving them recognition, saying that they weren't a 16 seed, they should deserve to be ranked higher. Well, now we might see them upset somebody because of the talent level that they'll be having. And if they getting overlooked like they would by most teams, then we could definitely see it.
Yes, sir. That's all we got, man. But I got one question for you. It wasn't on the docket. People love our list, so I got let's do top five barbecue. Or else I ain't gonna say barbecue. Top 5. I guess you could say grilling. You know what I'm saying? Foods that you know what I'm saying from Memorial Day.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna be difficult. All right. Not really though. Brisket number 1 for me. You can't beat a good brisket, bro.
Brisket. Okay.
Oh yes, yes. Ribs number 2. You talking strictly on the grill or just like at the cookout?
We do at the cookout. We do at the cookout.
At the cookout. Ain't nothing like that homemade mac and cheese, bro. Then on the grill, I'll be some of that good down home sausage, or that how you say that? That
Kaneka.
Yeah, some of that fire sausage. Pause. And I don't know. That's I guess some potato salad, baked beans, something like that. But as long as I got the ribs and that brisket, I'm really straight.
All right, your list trash. Forget it. All right, here we go. All right,
what you got?
All right, I agree with you on ribs. Depending on the person, potato salad.
Yeah, that's what I said. Depending on the person, though. That's why I ain't really. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
It's got to be an auntie, or it's got to be somebody got the on the back of the elbow.
That's how I feel about the mac and cheese, though.
It's got to be. Hey, I was just saying, y'all. Hey, judge mamas. Listen. I'm just saying, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's good.
Oh, and if the dude on the grill ain't got them sandals, I don't want it.
Man, what I had? Hey, I know what the new sandals are. Crocs.
No,
Crocs
man.
is the new sandals. It's the new sandals.
No, man.
Yeah.
No, man.
Remind me to tell you about
Because
Crocs.
too many people wear Crocs, bro. It can't be Crocs. No,
Gotta
bro.
be.
You gotta go get you some uncle slippers, bro. You gotta go get you some uncle sandals when you're on the grill.
That might be my issue then. All right. So what I said? I said ribs, potato salad,
Potato salad,
chicken wings. Gotta have you some chicken wings. Good smoked wings. Good. Bam. And the last two are staples, man. I think everybody has them. It's going to be in some kind of variation. One is going to be in some kind of variation with the glizzies. It's either going to be a hot dog, it's going to be a sausage link or something like that. So it's going to be one variation of that. My last one, grilled hamburger. I get it. Y'all say brisket. I'm not a big brisket guy. You know, I know why I'm not a brisket guy though. The only time I had brisket, I'll just say it was cooked by.
No, that's where you messed up at right there.
There you go.
That's where you messed up at right there.
And I was just like, it was like
that's
brisket.
where you messed up right there. Now you over there eating that Lincoln Riley brisket. So that's your problem. You know what I mean? Nah, bro, you gotta have some brisket, dog. And it's
Doc says
done right.
Doc says it's gotta come from Texas. So
well, my cousin ain't from Texas, but he got the best brisket around here. I will say that. But I mean, if you talking strictly like just smoked, you know what I'm saying, no sauce and all that, I gotta throw a turkey leg on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
it. But no sauce on the turkey leg though.
Yeah. Yep. We ain't got to the food section. All right, man, let's get up out of here. Before we'll be back.
Food all night.
I know. We'll be back on Monday. No show on Thursday. It'll be, you know what I'm saying, I'll be on the road, and we also got the first night of NBA Finals. Hey, Doc said as long as it's Texas style, it's gotta be Texas style.
Oh yeah, for sure. Texas style. I'm with you on that.
So but hey, you got anything else before we get up out of here?
Nah, I'm finna go finish off this brisket.
All right, man. Y'all go love on your peoples. Enjoy them while they still here. Like that. We out. This show was presented by betonline.ag.
Bring me my money. Who is SWAC?